Lee means to me what you meant to Sensei Miyagi.
Action! It's the signal that kicks off every take, bringing the cast and set to life on camera. Action is what sets movies apart from still photography, and in 2025 and 2026, we're in for a ton of epic action flicks. So let's dive into the best upcoming action movies hitting theaters. Sinners, March 7th, 2025. Throughout film history, there have been iconic director-actor duos like Quentin Tarantino and Samuel L. Jackson, John Huston and Humphrey Bogart, and Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro. Now, Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan are the latest pair to leave their mark on Hollywood. After bringing us powerful stories from Philly's boxing rings and Wakanda's throne room, they're diving into the world of vampires in their new film. Coogler, known for dramas and the MCU, is making his action horror debut with Sinners, where Jordan plays twin brothers. The movie is set in the South and has a mysterious vibe with a tagline that teases, "Dance with the Devil." The brothers try to escape their past, only to face a darker force. Alongside Jordan, the cast features Haley Steinfeld, Jack O'Connell, and Delroy Lindo. When's it coming out? Sinners is hitting theaters on April 18th, 2025. It'll compete with other exciting films like Hell of a Summer and The Wedding Banquet. The plot? Sinners is about twin brothers returning home, only to uncover something much more sinister than they expected. The trailer has us intrigued, setting the stage with a creepy atmosphere, though it keeps the vampires under wraps for now. The official story hints at a fight against a growing evil, with a chilling line, "You keep dancing with the devil, one day he's gonna follow you home." Details about the film's characters are still under wraps. Coogler is behind the camera with a powerhouse team including Ludwig Göransson, who's composing the score. Alto Knights, March 21st, 2025. Robert De Niro has a knack for playing gangsters, especially under the direction of Martin Scorsese. But in March 2025, he'll switch things up, teaming up with director Barry Levinson for Alto Knights, formerly The Wise Guys. This crime film, based on a script by Nicholas Pileggi, the writer behind Goodfellas and Casino, will see De Niro in a dual role, playing notorious mob bosses Frank Costello and Vito Genovese. The plot centers around how their paths to power lead to a deadly showdown. Alongside De Niro, the film features Deborah Messing and Catherine Narducci. Levinson, known for classics like Rain Man and Good Morning Vietnam, is directing. It's been a while since he's had a film that really clicks with critics and audiences, but this one could change that. The Amateur, April 11th, 2025. Apple TV Plus's Slow Horses has been a standout in recent years, with Gary Oldman leading a group of misfit MI5 agents who may be outcasts but are sharp enough to get the job done. The show's director, James Hawes, also impressed with his feature film debut One Life, starring Anthony Hopkins. Now, he's back with a new project that returns to the espionage thriller genre. Hawes' upcoming film The Amateur stars Rami Malek, fresh off his Oscar win for Bohemian Rhapsody. Malek plays a CIA cryptographer whose wife is killed in a terrorist attack. When the CIA refuses to take action, he blackmails them into training him to hunt down those responsible. Lawrence Fishburne and Rachel Brosnahan also star. The Accountant 2, April 25th, 2025. When The Accountant came out in 2016, it turned into a surprise hit, raking in $150 million on a $40 million budget and becoming the most rented digital movie of 2017, according to Deadline. Since then, fans have been hoping for a sequel to the unique yet gripping Ben Affleck thriller, and the good news is that The Accountant 2 is on the way. In the first movie, Affleck played Christian Wolf, an autistic accountant who launders money for criminal organizations. But when things get too dangerous, he doesn't just back off, he shows he's also a skilled fighter. Director Gavin O'Connor has made it clear that the sequel will be very intentionally different from the original. While it retains the essence of the first film, it takes on a fresh approach, particularly in its more complex plot, designed to stay just a bit ahead of the audience. The sequel focuses on human trafficking, a serious topic O'Connor wanted to highlight, and explores deeper themes, particularly the relationship between Christian Wolf and Brax. O'Connor emphasized that while the movie will still feature the puzzle-solving dynamic of the first, the tone has been carefully balanced to handle the weight of its subject matter while still being an entertaining action movie. Mission Impossible 8, May 23, 2025. When Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning dropped in 2023, it was initially called Part 1. In that film, Ethan Hunt faced off against a powerful AI known as the Entity, and we got to see some epic stunts, including Hunt driving a Fiat 500 through Rome and jumping his motorcycle off a huge cliff. Unfortunately, the film didn't perform as expected at the box office, which led to the Part 1 being dropped from the title, and the next movie is now simply called Mission Impossible 8. Despite the box office hurdles, the 8th installment is still on track and will pick up where the last one left off. Cruise is returning as Hunt, with writer-director Christopher McQuarrie, and stars Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, Haley Atwell, Vanessa Kirby, and Pom Klementieff. New faces include Hannah Waddingham, Nick Offerman, Katie O'Brien, Tramell Tillman, and Holt McCallany. As for the plot, Haley Atwell shared with The Hollywood Reporter that the team filmed some scenes in the Arctic, likely for a mission involving a sunken Russian submarine where Ethan must confront the Entity. Plus, there's a wild stunt where Hunt will be hanging out on the wings of an old biplane instead of sitting in the cockpit. In another insane stunt for Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, he's doing an underwater sequence where his gear can only keep him alive for 10 minutes before he starts facing hypoxia. And at 62 years old, he's still pushing the limits, which is honestly mind-blowing. In the film, we already know about the jaw-dropping scene where he's hanging off a plane at high speed, but that wasn't enough for him. Nope, he decided to take things underwater, diving so deep that his equipment can barely keep up. The big deal here is that unlike regular scuba divers, Tom's wearing gear that lets the audience see his face as he performs the stunt, putting his life on the line for the shot. Talk about dedication. The whole sequence shows up in the trailer, but hearing the full details just makes it that much crazier. The Karate Kid, May 30th, 2025. Turns out there's a connection between the original Karate Kid and the 2010 reboot with Jackie Chan. Ralph Macchio's Daniel LaRusso will meet Jackie Chan's Mr. Han for a new adventure in an upcoming movie. Directed by Jonathan Entwistle, known for I'm Not Okay and The End of the Effing World, and written by Rob Lieber of Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day, this film will feature Ben Wang from American-Born Chinese as the lead. His character moves from China to the East Coast and embarks on a martial arts journey. The cast will also include Ming-Na Wen, Joshua Jackson, and Sadie Stanley. Originally set for 2024, the movie's release got pushed to 2025. Also, with Cobra Kai finishing its final season before the movie, it seems like both the series and the film will exist in the same universe. Ballerina, June 6, 2025. We're diving back into the world of assassins and bulletproof suits with Ballerina. Directed by Len Wiseman, this action-packed movie stars Ana de Armas as a ballerina-turned-assassin, trained by the Ruska Roma, a crime family also featured in John Wick. Her character is out for revenge against the people who killed her parents. Alongside de Armas, we'll see familiar faces from the John Wick universe, including Angelica Houston as the director, Lance Reddick as Charon in one of his final roles, Ian McShane as Winston, and Keanu Reeves as John Wick. The film will be set between John Wick Chapter 3 and Chapter 4 as a midquel. New additions to the cast include Gabrielle Byrne, Norman Reedus, Catalina Sandino Moreno, David Castaneda, and Sharon Duncan Brewster. The script was written by Shay Hatton with rewrites from Emerald Fennell, known for Promising Young Woman. How to Train Your Dragon, 13 June 2025. After 3 successful animated films, multiple series, and plenty of spin-offs, the How to Train Your Dragon franchise is venturing into live action for the first time in 2025. The new film will be a reboot of the original story, and longtime fans can rest easy knowing that franchise creator Dean DeBlois will return as both writer and director. To bring the beloved characters to life, young stars Mason Thames from The Black Phone and Nico Parker from The Last of Us will portray Hiccup and Astrid, respectively. Gerard Butler is also back as Stoic, Hiccup's Viking father, bridging the gap between the animated and live-action versions. The cast also includes Julian Dennison, Gabriel Howell, Bronwyn James, Harry Trevaldwin, and Nick Frost, who will take on the roles of Fishlegs, Snotlout, Roughnut, Toughnut, and Gobber. The trailer for the How to Train Your Dragon live-action remake has definitely generated excitement. The production design is stunning, with the Colosseum and final battle looking volcanic and beautiful. The brief moments of acting, like Nico Parker as Astrid and Hiccup's dialogue with his dad, feel packed with energy and emotion. And the action and effects? Incredible. The CGI artists really went all out, making the visuals Oscar-worthy. That said, it's impossible to ignore the fact that many scenes and lines are lifted directly from the original film, like the iconic 1,000 of them line and the introduction of Toothless to Astrid. But the big question is, what do people expect? Should DreamWorks make drastic changes to the source material, or should they stay loyal to it while offering the best visuals and score possible? For me, this trailer looks like it's maintaining the heart of the original, just with a fresh, exciting twist in the visual department. I'm confident that when the film comes out, we'll see some new elements or unique takes on familiar scenes. In short, the trailer looks great, and I'm still really hyped for the film. The Naked Gun, 1st August 2025. The reboot of The Naked Gun is certainly shaping up to be something special, with Liam Neeson stepping into the iconic role originally played by Leslie Nielsen. Known for his serious demeanor, Neeson will undoubtedly bring that same straight-faced humor to the absurd situations, a trait that made Nielsen's portrayal so memorable. Paul Walter Hauser will join Neeson as his partner Ed, and the supporting cast is packed with talent, including Pamela Anderson, Kevin Durand, Danny Houston, and Busta Rhymes, along with a cameo by WWE champ Cody Rhodes. With Akiva Schaffer at the helm, who has a knack for comedy, think Hot Rod and Popstar, and the writing team behind Chippendale Rescue Rangers, there's a lot of potential for this reboot to be both hilarious and full of nostalgia. Nobody 2, August 15th, 2025. Nobody 2 is gearing up for an exciting release on August 15th, 2025, and fans of the first film are definitely in for more action-packed thrills. Bob Odenkirk will reprise his role as Hutch Manziel, a seemingly average man with a deadly secret. This time around, we'll learn more about Hutch's past, including some flashbacks to his and Becca's earlier years. The sequel is shaping up to have more brutal action, along with a strong supporting cast, including the return of Connie Nielsen as Becca and Christopher Lloyd as Hutch's father. Sharon Stone will play the villain Lendina, and Colin Hanks is stepping into a darker role as a corrupt sheriff. With Timo Giganto directing and a writing team that includes Odenkirk himself, fans can expect a fast-paced, action-heavy storyline. There are even hints that Nobody 2 might tie into the John Wick universe with subtle references, though don't expect a crossover just yet. This sequel is sure to deliver more of the sarcasm, cynicism, and, of course, brutal fight scenes that made the first film such a hit. Mortal Kombat 2, October 24th, 2025. If you were a fan of the first Mortal Kombat film, get ready for even more intense action and brutal fatalities when Mortal Kombat 2 hits IMAX screens. Despite the hurdles of the pandemic, the original film still managed to pull in $83 million and became one of Max's top-streamed movies. The sequel promises to up the stakes with an actual Mortal Kombat tournament, as promised by Louis Tan, who returns as Cole Young. In addition to Tan, a slew of familiar faces are returning, including Jessica McNamee as Sonya Blade, Mikael Brooks as Jax, Ludi Lin as Liu Kang, and Hiroyuki Sanada as Scorpion, among others. Some characters who met their demise in the first movie, like Joe Taslim's Sub-Zero and Chin Han's Shang Tsung, will be back as well. The big addition this time around is Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, the movie star turned combatant, which fans have been eagerly anticipating. New characters will also join the fray, including Adeline Rudolph as Katana, Tati Gabrielle as Jade, and Martin Ford as Shao Kahn, just to name a few. With a script by Jeremy Slater from Moon Knight and Simon McQuoid returning to direct, the sequel is expected to deliver even more epic battle scenes. Predator Badlands, November 7th, 2025. Predator Badlands is taking the franchise in a bold new direction. For the first time, the Predator itself is the protagonist, as the creature takes center stage in a story set on an alien planet in the future. This new installment, directed by Dan Trachtenberg, will still deliver the intimidating presence of the Predator, but with an emotional layer that makes it a character audiences can connect with, a shift that promises to push the boundaries of what we've seen in the series. While the Predator is the hero of this tale, there will still be human characters involved. Elle Fanning is set to play multiple roles, which is expected to add an intriguing dynamic to the story. Trachtenberg teased that Fanning faced significant challenges in her roles, both physically and dramatically. This unique setup, with a Predator-led story and a strong performance from Fanning, is bound to bring a fresh vibe to the franchise. Predator Badlands isn't a direct sequel to Prey, but is part of the evolving franchise that has consistently introduced new heroes, from Arnold Schwarzenegger's legendary performance in the original to Amber Midthunder's Naru in Prey. Anaconda, 25th December 2025. Sony is gearing up for a big Christmas Day 2025 with the release of their reimagined Anaconda comedy, starring Paul Rudd and Jack Black. Directed by Tom Gormican and written by Gormican and Kevin Etten, this new take on the 1997 cult classic promises to deliver laughs with its ensemble cast, including Daniela Melchior. The original Anaconda, which starred Jennifer Lopez, Jon Voight, Owen Wilson, and Ice Cube, was a box office success and became a defining movie of the late 90s, grossing $136.9 million worldwide. The upcoming film will bring a fresh twist to the story of a film crew held hostage by an insane hunter as they try to capture the world's largest and deadliest snake. With Rudd and Black leading the charge, audiences can expect a more comedic approach, while still likely keeping some of the thrilling action-adventure elements of the original. Aang: The Last Airbender, January 20th, 2026. The next film in the Avatar: The Last Airbender universe will follow Aang and the gang, Aang, Katara, Sokka, Zuko, Toph, and the rest. Though it doesn't have an official title yet, it's being called Aang: The Last Airbender for now. While we don't know much about the plot, some artwork shown at CinemaCon in 2023 suggests the characters are a bit older, probably in their late 20s, and still working on restoring peace after Fire Lord Ozai's reign. This film is part of a trilogy being produced by Avatar Studios, which was created to continue the story from Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra, though it's unclear if the movies will be connected or standalone. Dave Bautista will voice the villain, with Eric Nam playing Aang, and Dion Kwan, Jessica Matten, and Roman Zaragoza also joining the cast in undisclosed roles. Lauren Montgomery will direct, with series creators Brian Konietzko and Michael DiMartino producing. Super Mario Bros. 2, April 3, 2026. The Super Mario Bros. Movie 2 is officially in the works after the first film's big success, set to hit theaters 3 years later. Keegan-Michael Key, who voices Toad, teased that the sequel will have a bigger scope, bringing in new characters, including some deep cuts from Mario's past. Expect more Easter eggs as the world expands. The main cast will return, with Chris Pratt as Mario, Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach, Charlie Day as Luigi, Jack Black as Bowser, and Key as Toad. Fans might see characters like Wario, Waluigi, Daisy, and Rosalina, and even new villains like Bowser Jr. and the Koopalings. The post-credit scenes from the first movie set up some of this, with Bowser captured and a Yoshi egg found in Brooklyn, suggesting we might see Yoshi and a return to the real world. Street Fighter, March 20th, 2026. The upcoming Street Fighter movie is shaping up to be a fresh take on the iconic fighting game series. After previous films like Street Fighter and Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li failed to capture the essence of the games, this new adaptation from Legendary and Capcom is looking to turn things around. While the first film did well at the box office, it strayed too far from the source material, and the second movie struggled to capture the heart of Street Fighter. Although details are still under wraps, the film will likely feature an original story, as the game's plot lines are too thin for a compelling movie. Fans can expect classic characters like Ryu and Ken, focusing on their friendship, with potential nods to Street Fighter II, the game that introduced the World Warriors. Newer characters, like Luke from Street Fighter VI, could also make an appearance. Masters of the Universe, June 5th, 2026. He-Man is making his big screen return in a live-action film from Amazon MGM, marking the first movie in the franchise since 1987. Nicholas Galitzine, the rising star, has been cast as Prince Adam He-Man, while Riverdale's Camila Mendez will play Teela, the captain of the Royal Guard. The movie is set to be an origin story, revisiting the classic tale of how Prince Adam transforms into He-Man and battles Skeletor. Fans are excited to see Eternia come to life with modern filmmaking technology, bringing a fresh yet nostalgic feel to this beloved 80s franchise. The Odyssey, July 17, 2026. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey will be a mythic action epic shot across the world using new IMAX film technology. The film will bring Homer's ancient Greek saga to IMAX screens for the first time, retelling the story of Odysseus' 10-year journey home after the Trojan War. We also got our first look at The Odyssey, and it's got everyone buzzing. Tom Holland and Matt Damon lead the cast in Christopher Nolan's next big film. The first look features Matt Damon in a gritty, realistic portrayal of Odysseus. The cast is stacked with some of Hollywood's biggest stars, including Tom Holland, Mia Goth, Zendaya, Robert Pattinson, Charlize Theron, Lupita Nyong'o, Jon Bernthal, and more. It's safe to say this movie is going to be huge. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem sequel, October 9th, 2026. The next Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles installment is continuing the momentum from Mutant Mayhem, with the core turtles, Michelangelo, Donatello, Leonardo, and Raphael, voiced once again by Micah Abbey, Shimon Brown Jr., Nicholas Cantu, and Brady Noon. Jackie Chan is expected to reprise his role as Splinter, the wise and loving mutant rat father. Seth Rogen, who co-wrote and produced the first film, is back and teases that the sequel will be awesome. Currently in production, the film has completed its animatic phase and is working on CG animation. It will likely continue from where Mutant Mayhem left off, with prominent roles for Cynthia and Shredder, although the actor voicing Shredder remains unannounced. The sequel will dive deeper into Cynthia's backstory and her ties to TCRI. That's all for today. Let me know in the comments which movie you're most excited for. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll be sharing more updates on all the awesome upcoming movies and shows. Catch you next time.